Yeah.
Are you just not going to look at her?
You need a...
Never mind.
Oh, I wasn't looking at your thing. No, I'm trying to get the old... There we go. There we go.
I was just flipping you off. That's all.
Yeah, I couldn't see it till I got this thing fucking working. Now I see it. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I wish you had bigger tits, though.
Me too, baby. Me too.
just look. At least the man knows what he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, on tonight's Red Eye Report, get ourselves back here. We're gonna examine the gigantic balls of the Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. Examining these testicles with me is Muffin Top Molotov Mystic, Talkative Tank Killer Teddy, Glory Whore, Glory Hole Oracle, and Nut Sucking Ashtray. Ready to give Zelensky all the handies he can handle. And this is the Red Eye Report.
I'm not giving out any handies. I'm in the tank. I'm not even anywhere near you guys.
I'm not about to start giving out handies, Bubs. I'm not that desperate.
I mean, really.
Yeah. All right. So, as a lot of you now know, as we all now know, because he's become this darling of the media, the current Ukrainian-Russian conflict, the president of Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky, he is 44 years old. He was born in 1978, and he is an independent of the Servant of the People Party. And he's only the sixth and current president of Ukraine. As far as like what Ukraine is.
Well, how long have they been a country?
30 years, right?
And how long is the presidential or the president?
I'm not sure. But he's Jewish.
Top-notch.
He's also the first.
Here.
What's that?
That's fun.
You ain't talking loud enough. Let me turn my headphones up. Fucking tell Ashtray didn't fucking plan for this. There we go.
Fuck, you are bald.
I am. So yeah, he's Jewish, and his grandfather was the only one to survive the Holocaust. So his grandfather lost his three brothers and his father, so his great-grandfather, to the Nazis. And but the thing is, when he ran for president, his line was like, the fact that I'm a Jew is about the 20th question of my characteristics. Like his Jewishness wasn't really a part of his campaign. Because he grew up in I think it's called
So why are you bringing it up?
Curvatrol. Why am I bringing it up? Because when you're looking up the history of, it's also a fact that because Putin is his whole claim that why he's invading Ukraine is to denazify.
Right, the denazification.
Denazification. Oh,
by exterminating the Jews.
They elected a Jewish president with 72% of the vote. I think that absurdity warrants bringing up. Even though, and that the thing is, like, his Jewish, it wasn't like, I'm running as a Jew, and that's Putin's like, oh, I can't handle that. Anyways, his father was a professor of cybernetics, and his mother was an engineer. But when he was young, at the age of 17, he joined the KVN, which was this Russian comedy show. Basically like an improv show, like you kind of like, sounds like a competition between troops or groups of people. And he and his friends are like this
comedy
troop.
Has to be just weird as fuck.
What's that?
Russian comedy has to be just weird.
Oh, yeah. Although, like, the thing is,
we probably don't get it.
Oh, I'm sure we don't get it because also Russians, like have learned to live in the absurd a lot sooner than we have in the West. And so I'm sure it's like just fucking balls to the wall ridiculous. But he and his crew formed this Kvartatrol.
Nailed it.
Sure.
Yeah, Kvartatrol 95. Basically, it's translated as the 95 or 95th quarter, which is a reference to like where they grew up in the city. By the year 2000,
where did he grow up? In Kyiv?
Not in Kyiv, but the the other second largest city, like it's KRY, Kharkiv.
Kharkiv,
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the one that I think Russia may have taken now, or they've been trying to, anyways.
Yeah, I think they got it.
Anyways, in the year 2000, he actually graduated with a law degree. But he, before graduating with a law degree, he was still doing the comedy troupe thing. Like, and I guess even his mother was just like, "Oh, you should be a lawyer." Like, but it's like 2003.
That's how she sounds.
Exactly. They interviewed her. It was on Entertainment Tonight. By 2003 though, his comedy troupe was actually like his mother was still like, "Meh," but he was already like starting to produce their own TV shows.
So Ukraine has been declared itself a country in 91, and the presidents are elected for 5-year terms of office, and they can run twice.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Thanks, Teddy. So he even though his mom was like, "You should be a lawyer," like sounds like a lot of Asian mothers, gotta be a lawyer or a doctor.
I think that's like any mother.
Or any mother.
Yeah.
You're getting real racy today, Jews, Asians. I mean,
Jews,
real
Asians.
racy.
Well,
Right.
I'm trying to be inclusive, Teddy. Bringing in more races
By pointing out their absurdities.
Yep.
And they can't drive either.
Thanks, Teddy.
You should be a driver ed instructor.
So yeah, right. Well, you need to be a doctor.
Don't make it worse, Ashtray.
Granted, as a mother, if your son got a degree, a law degree, and was like still like just doing comedy shows, no parent believes that their kid is gonna succeed in comedy. And so he worked. The thing is, he kept fucking grinding at his comedy career. Most of his comedies, though, were made in Russia. So he was on the eastern side of Ukraine growing up.
Oh, wait. Where's our pause for the pause?
Pause for the cause?
Pause for the cause. Oh, my God.
Benefit for the Dane County Humane Society. Who is our... we actually have a pet today on camera.
Yeah, it's a Samus.
His name's Ashtray.
Samus, yeah. No, this
Samus.
is for Samus.
This is for Samus.
Samus. Let me alone.
Samus doesn't want to look at you.
She's like, I want attention.
She doesn't want to need
Jesus Christ, go away.
She's a simple dog.
You get it.
This is part of having a pet, Teddy.
I know that, but so I worked late. I ended up having work late.
I know.
I
just remember you like years ago saying like, no black man has a dog like that, like some commercial you were making fun of.
Yeah, the tiny little toy dogs and shit. Yeah.
Anyways, so he kept working on, or making his comedy because he grew up on the eastern side of Ukraine. He was he spoke Russian. Like there was heavier Russian influences on the eastern side, but he moved to Kiev to while working and producing on these shows, and he like learned. I mean, he's kind of bilingual, anyways, if you live in that area. But he really got the Ukrainian language down, and
from what I've heard, it's really not that different.
I can imagine
they're both Cyrillic, and it's
got to be pretty similar.
Yeah.
It's probably like
Portuguese and
fucking
Spanish.
Portuguese and Spanish. Yeah, I was gonna say. It's like you're right next to each other.
Right.
Like these mountains.
They can understand each other.
Conversationally,
anyway.
So by 2012, the company, quarter or 95th quarter was worth about $15 million. And he worked basically as a writer, producer, director, and actor, on all different levels. Gangster. And you could play, I don't know, some of the these links here. Actually, if you want to, Oracle,
don't tell him what to do.
The Servant of the People
bad, bro.
YouTube trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So they created this. His production studio created this show called Servant of the People. Think of it kind of like Veep.
Oh wait, this is the wrong video.
Yeah, so that's some of his other career stuff. But the
here we go.
The one below is kind of a trailer. So they created this show called Servant of the People, where a high school history teacher goes on a rant about government corruption, and students take video of it, and it goes viral. And through this impassioned speech about how this this country could be better and blah, these oligarchs and the corruption, it's like everyone basically ushers him into becoming president of Ukraine. And so it's almost kind of like, imagine Veep, but if then Julia Louis-Dreyfus was like, I could be president. And so the thing is, though, his production company then formed an actual political party called Servant of the People Party. And because by 2018, the show was so successful, they basically decided to start their own political party. And he used primarily just social media.
His rating to
YouTube,
get elected.
His what?
His ratings. Because I'm guessing the show was popular.
Well, yeah, the show was popular. As you can see, it's also ridiculous in this trailer. But he actually, it was social media.
Your Apprentice was also awesome, and they gave us the greatest president we ever had. So, yeah. 4 more years, stop the steal.
That's true.
Mercy.
America.
He used all his social media to communicate. He basically kind of ignored standard media, the old school mainstream media, as we call it here.
What was that Robin Williams movie where he was the fucking comedian that became the...
Is that Wag the Dog?
No, it wasn't Wag the Dog. I know you're talking about, where he became president. I can't remember the name of it, though.
It's almost like the same thing, where he was just joking about being a politician, and they kind of just kind of shoved him into it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's essentially where, and also because Poroshenko, who was before him, remind everyone too that Poroshenko was the president that basically those violent protests had that kicked him out, and he was the one who had the mansion with the zoo and shit in it, and they found all these documents that he threw out into the pond behind the mansion. And in those documents that they pulled them out of the water and dried them out, and in those documents was invoices for Paul Manafort. Remember him?
What did he do again? I mean, that name is familiar.
Paul Manafort was the campaign advisor for Trump.
Oh yeah,
when he was running. And he was that Russian guy who, then ended up, he's in prison now.
Yeah, he's in prison.
Yeah, so these invoices that said Paul Manafort's Computer Business Co. It's like 500 computers and like for X million dollars or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He was getting paid by Ukraine to try to basically be a political advisor, and so the people revolted, and he
Man
fled.
of the Year, by the way.
What's that?
It's called movie. Man of the Year.
Man of the Year.
Robin Williams movie.
Yeah.
So when he fled, that like caused that was like a new revolution where they got back. The president, though, that they elected, said all these same things and like didn't really do much. And also like Crimea was taken over by Russia, and the Donbass region on these eastern regions that were, they all spoke Russian, and they, Russian separatists went in there and fucking started taking root, and they've had that since 2014. That war's been going on that side. So the president before him ran on the fact that we're going to end this war, right? We're going to stop this shit with Russia. We're going to talk. So Zelensky kind of ran on the same thing. He ran on these kind of vague terms. I think of it like he had no political experience prior other than playing a, nobody who became president on TV. But art becomes life.
So he's the antithesis of Trump.
Right, exactly.
Like it's the same derivation. He's derived the same way. But this dude's got way more balls than fucking...
Right. He actually ended up being good.
Right.
Well, he actually ended up being someone with, actual character.
More, you just, morality about
his country.
His country, yeah.
He grew up there, and he, became, like, essentially, he's become what a lot of Ukrainians on the ground are considering, like, the first real Ukrainian president, where it's like he grew up here in Ukraine. He didn't come to power because he either is, Russian leaning or, European leaning. But he also, though, in that vote, he won 72% of the vote, but he won like Trump in the sense that they were fucking sick of everyone. They're like, fuck it, let's let this comedian, he played a president on TV.
Right.
Well, they chose correctly. I guess.
Well, the thing is, though,
balls. I don't know if he caused any of this, though. So let's dive into that, because we're 23 minutes in here, and you've told us like fucking
the
dude's backstory.
Well, yeah, I'm just talking about his backstory. Like the thing is, he
it's Ashtray.
All the way up to 2019, his approval rating, like presidents before him, went down. He was down to like 25%.
That's bad.
When did he get elected?
What's that?
When did he get elected?
2019.
2019. So it was actually, I'm sorry, it was October 2021. Yeah, so it was last fall. That his rating went down to 25% because like he didn't really he wasn't really making any headway on basically people wanted the war on the Eastern Front to end. Russia then fucking, starts building up their forces and decides, Putin's like, yep, I haven't been close to anyone in 2 years. I better invade Ukraine. And so while the Ukrainian people were pretty much, they weren't happy with him because it's like, okay, we actually hired this doofus as president who played a doofus as president on TV, and he's like that in real life because like he doesn't have experience.
Yeah.
And he's kind of bumbling around. Right? He had talks with Putin, and he tried to have dialogue, and Putin basically was just kind of like, yeah, nah, niet. Putin though, like had him over, and you can even tell, like Putin does those things where he had the cameras all facing Putin, but he had the Ukrainian president sitting on the opposite side of him, so he had to turn around, like.
What?
Ashtray's got some gloves on. I'm
you
serious.
gotta turn around like this.
He's into parkour now.
Like, oh, hey, cameras. To his fucking, to the actual audience. That's how Putin does it. Then he gets invaded by Russia. And instead of running like the presidents before him when there's a revolution, and think of any recent ones, like the president of Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the U.S. was like, hey, we got this safe ride for you. You know, you come out here and you can, you create one of those governments like an exile. It's like, what the fuck? It's like,
oh, you mean the country that we were arming for fucking 20 years and they collapsed in like days?
And it's like, oh, yeah, well, you can just reform your government outside.
The
it's
fuck?
Like, what does that mean? It means shit.
Fucking Afghanistan looks like fucking shit compared to Ukraine.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the thing is, though, it's funny is that is one of the criticisms of why Ukraine is getting so much attention. And, I mean, it is because mostly true, probably, because they're like, oh, it's just like those Middle Eastern countries just like don't seem as civilized. But you see these white people with these nice cities, getting fucking bombed. Like, oh, it's terrible. And the thing is, though, Zelensky... what the famous quote was, the fight is, I'm saying the fight is here. We need ammunition. I need ammunition, not a ride.
Mm. So,
and,
Mystic mentioned that there something that Zelensky could have done to have avoided this besides, just acquiescing to fucking I don't even know why I use that word to fucking
because it's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything he could have done?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I guess the criticisms too was that he could have been actually a little more alarmist, like the West was.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, not many people are talking about it, but the Biden administration, and maybe I was like, have you guys were teasing or like giving me shit about my what's sexy, like Putin finally invaded, and I was thinking about it's like it's actually maybe because like it was actually the ratcheting up of like this is gonna happen because that's what the Biden administration was doing. The thing is Zelensky in Ukraine. I don't know if you remember, but there were news stories where he was saying, like, the West is like, hey, calm down, everybody.
Right. They're saying that they were fanning the flames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, no one's giving the Biden administration credit, but it was kind of like when, in the Cuban Missile Crisis, which is like, let's just start leaking these satellite photos,
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at this shit that's going on here. What's going on?
Okay, so
and
I don't...
The fact that, like, yeah, they were right. Putin really is going to fucking invade, but Zelensky
you don't know what we're doing.
Could have been training his people to get ready to defend their country, and instead he's trying to keep everybody calm. Granted, I don't know. I might do the same thing if I was not know what the fuck I'm doing president. It's like, hey,
right. Like, yeah, I don't know what he could have done better.
From the dude? Right. He's got big balls, but he's probably not a politician. He's not,
he
doesn't know how to run a country.
And so, from what I understand, there's nothing he can do to stop Putin from doing this. They found it's a lot of people think this is about oil in the pipeline because Ukraine has a lot of. They found that it has a lot of oil. A lot of natural gas, things like that, and so Russia started putting their pipelines around, sending because a lot of gas, like they said, 35%.
A lot of scrap metal now too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah. So.
Oh yeah, he had this shit planned for a long time.
Yeah. If there's one thing that Putin isn't, it's stupid.
Right.
Like the dude. Knows what he's doing.
Yeah. He's not stupid. He might be a little crazy too.
Oh, he's a fucking
yeah, and he's getting.
Right.
That's the thing is he's. I don't know, but reports, and of course this is just all through the lens of Western media.
Though between him and his fucking like the head of the KGB, like his spy master.
Spy master, yeah.
Mm.
Like he fucking dude. Like
What'd
this
he do?
dude was like the spy master dude.
He's like scared to answer and shit.
He was like basically he was saying that we should give diplomacy one more try, and this was a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And Putin was like, so you think we should give diplomacy a try? And the way that he said it, like this dude's like, oh well, and he's like, now speak directly to me. He's like, basically be man up.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's like, fucking, like, dude,
Yeah, basically,
it was like, the mob boss calling this motherfucker out.
Yeah, be like, oh yeah, you think we should go easy now? Like, no.
Right. Yeah. It was like Putin being like, what'd you say, motherfucker? It was pretty impressive. Like the fear that dude puts in people's fucking in people. It's disgusting, and I don't condone that.
Well, and that's
Jesus Christ.
The thing is, he may have jumped the shark in the sense that Ukraine is also like, I think they say it's like the size of Texas.
Yeah, it's the size of Texas.
Something like that. Yeah, it's not small.
As far as trying to hold it, we're also living in a time where something like Jon Stewart was saying, like, if there's any time you want the algorithm to have some sort of redeeming quality when it comes to social media,
oh yeah,
like, may it be now that, like, because Ukraine, we really don't know what's going on the ground, but we know that Ukraine is winning, like, the social media war.
Oh yeah, they are way more savvy than the Russians are with this shit.
That's the thing is, that was another criticism that Zelensky had when he was running for president, and then also his first year as president. Like, he ignored requests to do interviews with the standard press. He used social media. He just did these, like, fucking live stream tweets. The thing is, he now has gone right back to that and has shown his country that, like, that where they're out on the street, like, we're here, and him with his cabinet members. Whereas, like, I could only imagine, like, what it would be like to try to be in that position as a citizen, but then to see, like, yeah, my president is like, we're still fucking here. And I have
that's huge.
I don't have any money.
That would never happen.
Fly anywhere. Right. Like, I can't escape the country. I don't have enough money to even get to the border. Right. And my president is like, yeah, we're still here. The fight's still here. It's like, fuck it.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Let's fight.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if anyone was ever stupid enough to try to invade the United States, I don't think they understand what kind of fucking response the citizenry of this fucking country would put up.
Right.
We're the most heavily armed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we are by far the most heavily armed population on the planet.
Well, yeah, and it'd be, like, impossible.
We'd have to hand guns to the government to give them weapons.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, our attitude, we don't take shit.
Right.
That's what we're known for. We're known for being brash assholes.
Yeah.
Come on over, motherfucker.
Yeah, you gotta. It's really been kind of amazing to see, like, these.
Has never seen Red Dawn.
Old Ukrainian women, like, coming together and making Molotov cocktails for the community and shit.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Their distilleries have converted to making Molotov cocktails, just like our distilleries converted to making hand sanitizer. Remember that?
Yeah, right.
That's right.
Throw away all the whiskey. We got.
The thing is, too, we have to remind ourselves, perspective-wise, that, like, Russia was going on that. In there, like, they really thought, like, within, I think, the plans that they've found, the expectation was, like, 5 days they'd have Kiev.
Really?
And,
oh yeah.
Yeah. The
it's been like a week, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going into its second week.
Was it last? It was last Friday, I thought.
Yeah, like, Anyways, the thing is, Russia has not really, like, at least what the military experts are saying, that like Russia hasn't really unleashed all of its firepower.
Oh, I'm sure it has.
It's
why?
So
you know what I mean? This fucking they'll get there.
I don't think. I mean, I think the tank's stalling out and shit. I think they're fucking. I kind of think they're on their last. I think they're overstepping they're overplaying their hand. Because I mean, like the whole convoy thing. I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're faking and shit. But they've all that shit run out of gas.
Right.
They haven't been using. I mean, they got.
It sounds like there's like a lot of logistical problems.
I mean,
and that's what you'll happen in a regime like that, because just like at the top of government that's rotten because you got a bunch of yes men that don't know what the fuck they're doing. Yeah. That's what your military is.
What we're gonna do?
Yeah, right.
You know,
the guys in the middle and have to actually execute.
Yeah,
those orders.
Right. Like, how many of those soldiers do you think were really soldiers?
Right. Well, a lot of them, they're saying they don't even know why they're there. They're like, yeah, we thought this was like a training fucking exercise.
Wow.
Or were they like, we weren't told where we're going.
Of course, if you had a gun to your head and the Ukrainians are like, we're going to fucking kill your ass, maybe that's what you say.
Yeah, that's the thing, too. It's like, we don't really know how much. It's like,
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, right? No idea. It's fucking all Putin's.
I thought we were in France. What's going on?
Yeah, so anyways, it's like impressive to see, like, before the show, I was talking with Oracle, in diving back into like this guy's history and then like where the political career was kind of going. If Putin wouldn't have evaded, I think if he could have waited another year, 2 years or whatever, to where let the Ukrainians be dissatisfied, because I guess they're notorious for like electing someone different because they want change,
right?
But then
they'll just elect a fucking Russian puppet on their own.
They're like every NFL team out there.
Yep, exactly. Like,
we're gonna be good, and then a year and a half later, they're like, "Fuck that coach!
Fuck that coach!" Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Get him out of here. So, he was, before this invasion, he was down to like 25% approval rating.
Mm-hmm.
If Putin would have waited till like maybe around an election time or something,
they might have just welcomed him in.
Right.
Yeah. When people were so dissatisfied with him, and if he would have been like, no, I'm going to take a stand, like it wouldn't have mattered because he was already down in the polls. Right. If people were already mixed over multiple candidates, and then Russia just came in, like that probably would have worked.
Yeah.
But no, now and part of the critique is that as an actor, you're most powerful at the the slimiest skill of a politician.
That's true.
That's true. I never thought about
lying well.
Right.
And connecting with the people.
Right.
And so that was a lot of his part of his initial criticism too, is like he doesn't know anything to do but how to do anything but act.
Right.
And act as a politician.
Right.
And so whether or not, I mean, I guess you can't argue now he's at least like he's put his foot down there to be like he's not just acting anymore, like in the sense that like, I don't need a way out. I think his wife and kids are, I don't know if they're out of Ukraine.
That makes what's he gonna do? Strap an AK to his fucking 7-year-old? Yeah, that makes sense. Get him out of
or they're on the western.
Yeah, you gotta learn how to be a goddamn man. Let's go, Junior. What do you mean he can't pull the trigger?
Send him to a brothel. He'll be all right. He'll learn to be a man.
By basically making this stand, he has glued. And also, a lot of people are saying inspired a lot of Western countries to be like, we got to stand up to this shit. This ain't fucking right.
Mm-hmm.
And Putin done stepped in it. All right. That's our main topic, ladies and gentlemen. Gonna move along to the what sexy section. Oracle, Xbox Series S.
Yeah. So I've converted Carolyn into a gamer, and that means that we need to share Xbox time, which isn't going to happen. So I
got her.
I bought her a Series S. I have a Series X, and
so she gets.
Wait, you have an X?
I have an X. I had an X before. She's got an S. But I've got to say, I am impressed with this little fucking Xbox. For one, it's tiny. It's like that big.
Yeah.
And this thing is pretty damn powerful for what it is. It's snappy. The only thing that I've noticed that, so like on the Series X, I've been playing Guardians of the Galaxy lately. In Guardians of the Galaxy, it's got like a mode where you can have ray tracing, which does look nice, but you can only run the game at 30 frames per second when you have ray tracing. Same thing with Cyberpunk, and that seems to be kind of the trade-off that they have on a lot of games. The Series S doesn't do the ray tracing, but it'll run the games at 60 frames per second. And I mean, it does it well.
It does it pretty good. Yeah.
It feels like, honestly, it feels like the games are more optimized for the Series S than versus the Series X. Because I feel like you're not utilizing the full range of power that Series X actually has. And this, it just seems like it's sitting right in the right spot. So I think these are like $250 now. And they're fucking nice. It's a nice ass system. So
I want an X, but I can't find one.
Storage? I still have my old fucking like Betamax Xbox One.
Yeah, mine too. Well, my original one burnt out, but I have the S, the Xbox One S.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so I'm like way behind.
Yeah, no, I still have the one from like 2015 was it?
I've got a Series S and an Xbox One X.
Yeah. So yeah, Series S. I'm impressed with it. As a Series X owner, I have to have all the nice fucking shiny bits. So of course, I have the Series X. But
I'm surprised you don't have a Steam Deck, bro.
I just
gotta let you get one first before I get one. So
I wouldn't use it. That's the thing. I wouldn't use it because I have fucking all my shit around the house. So, and I never go anywhere to play games. If I were to just buy an Xbox, especially if you want to tap into Game Pass games and get that going, I would definitely go with the Series S versus the X. I think that's the stronger system out of them. If you need the shiny bits, then get the X.
Word.
I'm getting the goddamn shiny bits, bro.
Yeah, and I'm one of those.
As soon as I find one, I'm getting one.
I always buy my system.
I'm gonna ride this one till it breaks.
So wait,
just buy a computer.
Do you just have so you still have the Xbox One?
The One. I don't have the Series anything. I have the Xbox One S.
So wait, what are the new ones called? The Xbox.
You have the same.
Series. Okay, so it's Xbox Series.
Series is the new one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't realize.
I know their fucking naming convention is retarded.
Yeah.
At least Sony's got we'll just go right down the numbers.
Right. Yeah. Just go down the numbers. Xbox.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Sony also has a fucked up UI, which is stayed the same for the past years.
I mean, that's completely aside from naming convention.
Right.
Anyway,
it's so simple.
That's fine.
Moving along.
Right
PlayStation has a sexy name, shitty UI. Mystic with Murderville.
So Murderville, have you guys seen Murderville at all?
Yeah, I've started watching some of it. Yeah, it's pretty. It's
So it's weird because. Here's the concept. Will Arnett is this detective.
Law and Order or something.
Yeah, but But the guy, the special guest for that week, has no idea, like, what the script is or anything.
Oh,
right?
really?
So, yeah. So
that's part of the whole.
It's to try to stay and keep things going. So it's completely improv on his part. Yeah. And it really is on all their parts, because they have to, like, and there's some times where, like, they break character and shit. Like when Conan was talking to this chick, he, like, said something and she just she, like, started giggling and turned her face until she, like, kept her composure. Because, like, you know, you're working with, like, world-class, like, the Marshawn Lynch one was fucking so funny.
Yeah.
Just gonna trust me with Aunt Viv like that, bro? Fuck, you gonna use that? It's different. I mean, don't expect, it's not groundbreaking fucking, you know, anything, but it's just something different, and it's funny. It really is. So check it out.
Yeah, so I guess is that explained then, like in the first episode, that's like these guests don't know what the script is.
Yeah, they have no idea. So, like, they have to try to figure out the killer. Right, but they also have to try to.
So each episode has a different guest.
Yeah, because so Conan was first, and then Marshawn Lynch, and I've only made it through those two.
So they don't even know who the killer is. Like,
they actually guess it at the end. They guess the killer. Yeah,
that's amazing. That's a fucking amazing idea.
Yeah, it is. It's funny and it's different, and that's what I like about it. So check it out.
Nice. Moving along to Teddy. Old feelings.
Old feelings. Okay, so my wife's out of town. And I actually miss her. It's good to miss somebody in a good way, going out see them again. And it's just, you know, it's good to have those old good feelings back, being married, being happy and stuff. So
nice.
Yeah, so.
Word.
That was adorable.
Shut the fuck up.
Better hit that Pornhub up. Fucking Russian
I'm already.
porn.
I've been
all right.
constantly.
For me,
the pictures of her.
my what's next is gonna be a full hot tub happiness. So my friend.
A story about another chick you fucked over the weekend.
What?
Ooh.
No, this ain't a sex story. It's No, actually, it was me kind of. So I had this pessimistic view for my friend. They got this like cheap hot tub. I mean, it's a good hot tub, but of course it's used because people are always getting rid of their fucking hot tubs. Why?
Because they're filled with cum and they stop working.
No, because they're just like
crack.
They're a lot of maintenance and they take a lot of electricity. And so she's had this. They've had it in the backyard of their house for a couple months now. And they finally bought the super high grade electrical cable you need to hook the fucker up to 240. And that amount of cable itself was like $400 just for this.
Wow.
I don't know how many, basically enough cable to run it down to their circuit breaker. So it's kind of one of those things that I'm like trying not to be like a negative Nancy about it, but like, man, it's hot tubs, fucking expensive, a lot of fucking work, and chemicals. You got to like test those all the time, make sure they're fucking balanced. Anyways, so they got it hooked up and invited me over to what was Monday of this week. And it's like, yep, just like 1 minute and sitting inside it. I'm like, never mind. I'm like, you know what? This is the best fucking idea ever.
Yeah, like, for them to buy it and to maintain it.
Right? So like, I'm like, I was just thinking like with the pandemic and stuff, I was like, I can't even remember the last time I was in a hot tub. It's probably been the fucking 5 years. And I'm like, this is awesome.
I can't stand hot tub.
Well, I mean, the thing is that, like hot tub, my parents had my mom and stepdad had one anyways, that like, I just remember being what a pain in the ass it was having to like constantly the upkeep and stuff. And keeping those chemicals balanced and shit. And
fuck that shit, man.
Exactly. It's just like a lot of work, like unless you're if I lived in a facility that was like an apartment complex that had a hot tub, someone took care of that shit, that'd be awesome. But anyways, hot tubs, fucking awesome. Someone else is taking care of it.
Do the hot tub episode of American Dad, is best ever. Where CeeLo Green's the hot tub. So. Well, you're gonna.
All right.
I'm gonna send it to you.
Well, Travis had a joke about tubs, pools, and women.
With no punchline.
They cost an awful lot to maintain for how much time you spend inside them.
Oh.
Good one, Travis.
Oh.
That's funny.
Shablowy.
All right, moving along to the fuck what you think. Oracle, standing ovations.
Yeah, so we've got fucking guy who played the president on TV, who's actually the president on TV, and turns out he's really compelling, and he's doing all these speeches and shit, and it seems like he's on the phone constantly with every world leader. And
yeah, right. Give me some fucking weapons.
Yeah, give me some weapons. And everybody's giving him this like fucking standing ovation, and they're crying and shit. It's like, motherfucker.
These world leaders.
Right.
Oh, so touching.
Yeah, so touching. Hey, how about you fucking do a no-fly zone or some
thoughts
shit?
And prayers.
Right, thoughts and prayers. It's like, come on, man.
Governmental thoughts and prayers.
At some point, somebody's going to have to step up, right? Because Putin isn't going to stop. This motherfucker isn't going to stop.
That's what I'm saying. Once he gets through Ukraine, what's next?
Right.
You know what I mean?
He isn't
we're getting into some like Germany's going to start sweating pretty soon.
Right. So you take care of the problem now,
and they've actually made a huge kind of reverse and course in just a matter of weeks, where it was like, oh, you know, like, yeah, we're not going to sanction the gas, or blah, blah, blah. You know, with Nord Stream 2 pipeline is still, like, under negotiation. And now they're like, oh, fuck, that shit's off the table.
Right, it's off the table, and actually, for the first time, they are sending offensive weapons as aid, too. The Germans are.
Oh, yeah, like, have they ever sent weapons as aid since the World War II?
No. Yeah, and I mean, it's going to get to a certain point. Like, as of tonight, we're recording this on March 3rd. Zelensky got off the phone with Boris Johnson, the British PM, because of the nuclear power plant that the fucking Russians were lighting up and potentially causing this huge fucking nuclear catastrophe. I mean... Yeah.
Jesus.
They're not being careful at all. They don't give a shit. They're fucking just fucking everything up, man.
Yep.
Stop with the goddamn standing ovations.
The people, the people who run the plant, you know, it's like, they can't do their job. Plant's going to get fucked.
Right. It is the largest nuclear power plant in Europe.
Wow. That'll fuck some shit up.
Right?
Imagine if that melts down, dude.
Well, like, think of it.
Chernobyl. Like
which is also in fucking Ukraine.
Right, yeah.
Well, yeah, yeah. Like, I doubt it'll be like a Chernobyl where it fucking blows, but it could be like a Fukushima, you know, where it's like, oh, shit.
Shoot fucking tank rounds into the bitch, it's gonna fucking do something.
Man.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, frustrating.
Probably doing it just to watch it blow up. It's good.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not going to die.
All right. Moving along. Mystic with cancel culture. International edition.
So
what's this link go to? Tell us, Oracle.
Is this Mazepin?
Yeah. So Nikita Mazepin is a Formula One driver for Haas. Well, not anymore. He's Russian. So initially, they're like all Russian athletes had to compete under a neutral flag, and that's fine. They did. They switched their flag. It's same with chess because there's a lot of Russian grandmasters right now, like playing in tournaments and shit, but they all have to compete under a different flag. But then like fucking England comes out and they're like, oh yeah, he can't race at Silverstone this year. He can't race in fucking any European or any English whatever, just because he's Russian.
Right.
It makes no fucking sense.
Gee. Yeah, wait, he's not sponsored by the state, right?
Right. No, not at all.
Well, here's the deal. His dad is actually an oil oligarch, a Russian oil oligarch, Dmitry Mazepin.
That doesn't help.
But he's been vocal against Putin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's the one.
Like, he's one of them that's
he's
like,
one of the
this is
few
ridiculous.
oligarchs who's got the money to be like, Putin, maybe you should.
So now that Haas has released Mazepin, because now they're fucking jumping on it too. It's this cancel culture shit.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we got to get rid of him. So now fucking Mazepin's funding is gone.
Wow.
So what's Haas going to do?
Well, Haas was fucked already. Now
yeah, right.
More fucked.
Matter. But, like, dude, let the dude fucking race, and it's going to affect all kinds of Russian drivers. There's a couple F2 drivers that are really good from Russia that can't race now.
Yeah, it's fucked up because it's like, okay, you guys are doing this cancel culture bullshit, but you're not doing real action.
Yeah, you're not doing it to how it matters. Like,
exactly.
You need to fucking strangle the people that are doing it, not the fucking collateral people with Russian last names.
Exactly.
Oh, he's a Russian. He's fucking, fuck him. He can't race.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's it.
Do you think Putin gives a shit about if fucking Mazepin can race or not? You know?
Exactly, dude, yeah.
Yeah. You don't care.
Right.
You know what I care about, though? Fucking sound drivers failing on me. First wedding of the season, and right as I'm getting dinner music ready, software's like, oh, seems to be a problem with the audio driver. Maybe your sound card isn't hooked up properly.
Oh, no.
Oh, fuck. And it's like, you'd load songs into the deck, and you hit play, and, like, the thing was it was communicating with my deck. You could just tell on screen when you move your faders, but the tracks wouldn't move. It's like the sound driver was just, or the audio driver was fucked. And of course, I got no signal on my phone. I got 1 bar of 4G. No one there at the venue knows what the password is for the Wi-Fi. And then before I even got to this point of like realizing I'm crippled, I was derailed for 20 minutes in my setup because they're like, oh, I have an emergency. Can you please go down to the ceremony building where they're having trouble with the sound system down there. And, I don't really know anything about it. It's like, so go down there, and this guy's like trying to play, YouTube fucking playlist of ceremony music on a iPhone, and so there's nothing here. I just don't think they have the right chords. We got to find the right kind of adapter. I'm like, well, hold on, before you try to tear us apart, let me try my phone. Plug it in, fucking lights go up like Christmas, and. He's like, all right. I'm like, it must be the case, take the case off. And, because sometimes the cord won't go all the way in. And so took the case off, plugged it in, hit play again, and still no sound. It's like, what the fuck? No sound. I can see it says it's playing. Yeah. I started hitting the volume up button. It's at 0%.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Fucking old people, dude. How old was this dude?
Oh, this guy was our age.
What?
And I was like, I'm like, the volume's down to 0%. That'll do it.
That'll do it. He's like, fucking retard.
Oh, I swore I hit the volume up many times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like, but of course I then walk away as like
tipped at least. Well.
Oh yeah, I got tipped really fucking well. But I walk away as like fucking like save the day, right? Then I go back up and find my own disaster where
Your actual problem.
My actual problem, yeah. And I only realized that because I got set back by another 15, 20 minutes of like being able to set up, to not realize that the sound driver wasn't working properly. I managed to like use some alternative sound driver options to get where at least it was outputting music on each deck. The problem is though with your crossfader, you fade over, playing a song on deck A and you fade all the way over to deck B, deck A will cut out silent. That's what it's supposed to do. And then you hit play on deck B. Well, no, you'd fade over and it would cut down to 50% volume, but it would still be playing. So it's like I'd have to hit stop on deck A while hitting play on deck B. And then my headphones to queue up my next track and like make sure everything is right where I want it. Those weren't working. So I had to limp through the whole fucking night with this. It was just like, God.
Technology, and all because, man. I deal with that shit every day.
All because I couldn't. The thing is, you at least have the fucking internet to, like, if you had a fucking download a driver.
What the hell happened to your driver? Did fucking Windows fuck it up or what?
I have no idea, but I took the system home and this is though my work system. This is not my personal system too, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like it's my work system.
And you don't have an IT dude that I can just call. You know what I mean? Like if my computer fucks up, I can just move to another bay while they fix that one.
Oh yeah.
I would have just loaded up Winamp and been like, "You're on your own, bud."
Well, I was this close to it because I did at least bring my own personal DJ laptop. The thing is, I didn't bring the mixer, that goes with it, but I could have hooked the headphone jack up and used literally Winamp and played music that way. Put on that fake crossfader.
Yeah, I would have hooked it up to Winamp and left the other shit out and pretended like I was using the mixing board and shit.
Yeah. There you go.
People come over, it's like not even turned on.
Yeah, right. Right, all the lights are like, oh, don't these buttons light up? No, man. This is
fried out.
It's in dark mode.
I remember playing a show one time with Shot for Obscenity, and my dumbass fucking got a Long Island iced tea before it, and then stuck it on top of my fucking 400-watt amp. And it just fucking proceeded to vibrate until it hit the back of it and fried out everything on it.
Oh, man.
Oh, right in the mid-show?
Yeah, we were like 2 songs in.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh, what the fuck? So luckily the bass player from the headlining band he just turned his amp on because it was sitting right behind mine. Just plug in. Sounded different because his amp was set differently, but fucking. Anyway, great story.
Yeah, that's when I ruined my own shit. Anyways, moving along. Teddy, Star Cruiser costs.
Okay, so Disney opened up their Star Cruiser hotel. It's supposed to be an immersive experience. They pick you up in a truck and transport you to the hotel. I put a couple of pics in the chat there.
Galaxy far, far away.
What the hell's a Star Cruiser? What the fuck's that?
The big triangle ship.
That's what it looks like inside.
That's what the cabins look like. Yeah, it's in
the thing that picks you up.
No. That's what it looks like. That's what the rooms look
pick
like.
them up in a gigantic fucking.
Oh yeah, I was thinking it was
like. But here's the price for rooms. You get 2 nights of this immersive experience for 2 guests in that standard cabin with the pictures that are there. The voyage total is $4,800 for 3 guests.
2 nights.
For 2 nights, yes. For 3 guests,
Jesus fuck.
It's $5,299, and for 4 guests, it's $5,999
each
for 2 nights. No,
for
total.
Okay.
But that's just the standard cabin, which is that you see right there. That with the bunk beds. Apparently, it has no windows. There's 100 cabins in the hotel. It's set up kind of like a starship, so it's kind of like a cruise.
Think how much money they're saving on heating. Oh wait, it's Florida.
Yeah, it's supposed to be totally immersive, but I'm like, it's That's fucking crazy.
That's pretty. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's insane pricing.
That's fucking crazy.
Right?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Fuck off with that shit. I'd never.
Right. So so all the windows are just like fucking LCD screens or whatever.
Yeah, apparently, yeah, like they're not really windows or whatever. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like they don't have windows or something like that.
That's like a fancy way for the bottom deck of the Titanic. Hey, there's a picture glued on the wall. This is the porthole.
It's supposed to be totally immersive. So, like when you look out when you're walking down a hallway, like the windows are supposed to be like show space and shit or planets or something, or y'all are over Coruscant or some shit. You know.
Yeah, I mean that's cool, but that's fucking way too expensive.
I mean, yeah. I mean, when they drop the price in 20 years, I'll go. But
I mean, when they say totally immersive, I better be fucking.
Okay, so here's the thing: when you it gets kind of they try to be immersive, but it gets annoying when like when I built my lightsaber, that shit was like $250, and when I found out how it went together, I kind of just put it together. And the guys going through it, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm done. Can I go?" And he's like, "You must do the pledge and blah blah." I'm like, "Dude, I already paid for it, so can I just go?" I'm like,
what?
Fuck your immersive experience.
Or blah, blah. I'm like, dude, I get it. You don't have to act with me. I get it. You got to be immersive. Look, I just paid $250 to be able to do shit.
Can you imagine being who are the people that run that shit? Like
it's shitty actors. They went to acting school and cannot find a job, so they're like, I'm gonna go work at Disney World.
Man,
the rest of my life.
They've got to deal with so much
my
shit.
Son, when he built his droid with grandma and granddad and everything else. It's for the kids. It's great. It is very immersive.
Yeah, so, sure.
When he activated his droid,
it was a very formative time in my life and upbringing.
Yeah. When I got to build my lightsaber and I took the pledge.
The bona fide Jedi.
Right. That was my church.
He loves his little R2-D2 and he remote controls him around the house and shit, chasing the dog.
God. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in all seriousness, go fuck yourself, osteoporosis. That's our show. We'll be here every Wednesday and Thursday night, 10 p.m. Central. Make sure you join the conversation at theredreport.com/ theredreport.com or facebook.com/redreport. You can also twiddle us at...
No, you can't.
Oh, yeah, you can't twiddle us. Like us, share us, or fuck us. We're down for whatever, because I'm the Ashtray.
I'm Oracle.
I missed it.
And I'm Teddy, and I almost got you to say it, motherfucker.
What, the asshole?
Yeah.
Yeah, I changed it. I'm like, who the fuck changed it?